Hello Zoom, welcome to the speaking test. Let's talk about clothes. What do you like to wear when you are at home?
So my go-to clothing item when at home would be shorts, t-shirt, dress, or something, baggy a little bit, because it allows me to move easier, also feeling more comfortable, unlike, the formal and tight uniform.
Now in this part, you'll have 1 minute to prepare. I'd like you to describe a museum or art gallery that you have visited.
So today I'm going to tell you about the trip to the museum that I had during this quarantine time. So you may be taken aback a little bit, but it is a virtual tour that I had to the Louvre Museum in France. So one day I just came across an eye-catching, advertisement on the internet about the museum offering a free virtual tour. And I've always been into exploring new things, always curious. And during the quarantine time, I didn't have much on my plate, so I just clicked on the ad right away. The Louvre Museum is the world's largest, art museum and history monument. With its glamorous architecture, the museum is a central landmark of Paris. There's a wide range of objects, relics from the prehistoric time to the up-to-date 21st century on display, making it the must-visit destination in France. This rich collection is placed in different departments. So, for example, when you come to the Advent of Art department, you may come across a lot of sculptures, masterpieces, or paintings. But in the ancient Egypt antiques, where they focus a lot on potteries, utensils during the pharaoh time, or when you just visit the body of movement department, you can see a lot of paintings, writings about dancing or about the body movements. And during this trip, the thing that lingered in my mind most is a line of figure in mythology along the exit corridor. It is just a small detail, but I think the idea of embellishing the wall with the paintings will bring about a novel experience to the visitors. Well, to me, the idea of virtual tour during this quarantine time, it's something very creative, and it would be an unforgettable memory to me.
Let's go into part 3 and talk about museums. How can museums be made more appealing to young people?
I think there are many ways that the museum can do to attract the younger generation. The first one is they should engage themselves more in the social network by creating interesting, interactive, more eye-catching content in the form of quiz, Facebook post, or GIF, which caught the attention of the younger people. The second thing they can do is that they should offer free virtual tour, which target at the younger people who use their phone all day round, so that they can broaden their horizon without leaving their home couch.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test.
All right, so this year's Voice of the Week is just really tough because we have some really strong contenders.
Yeah, some really, really good candidates.
Yeah. So what do you like in particular about this candidate?
Well, I liked her answers. She gave a lot of good answers, and she really tried to use some higher level vocabulary.
You could tell that she has a definite range.
Yeah. She used some good expressions. What I did notice with that, though, is that as she was trying things, she tended to make more mistakes. So as she was using certain expressions, there was a little bit of repetition, and then some inappropriacies with those expressions and idioms. So that might affect her score. But IELTS, in general, tends to reward people for taking risks.
Yeah.
So I would say it's better to try to, use these expressions, use that vocabulary than you have, rather than not do it.
Yeah. And getting feedback like this, it's gonna really help you to be more natural with the way that you use your language.
Exactly.
Because I think perfection is really elusive, especially in the speaking test. So you shouldn't aim for like absolute perfection in terms of grammar or vocabulary, but do try to take risks, because then you will learn from it.
Right. It's always better to try.
So do you think she kind of played it safe for part 1 a little bit?
Maybe. like I said, the answers weren't bad.
Yeah.
You know, they were just a little shorter, and maybe she can extend them a bit more. You know,
Yeah.
tell me why, or tell me, you know, when, or whatever the question is. But really, if the answer is yes, tell me why. If the answer is no, tell me why.
Yeah.
And let the examiner dictate the pace and
Yeah.
the time. Students often ask, you know, will I be penalized if I go overtime? And it's actually the opposite that's true. It's you don't want to be under,
Yeah.
right? So the examiner will let you extend the answer as long as they have their time, and they'll keep the pace for you.
Yeah.
So definitely try to extend your answers.
That's some really substantial feedback. I really hope that Zung can benefit from Michael's comments.